Okay, so the best way to answer this question, Trish, is by showing you the possibilities. First of all, Dragon comes with the alphabet. You don't need to make special voice commands in Dragon itself. There are commands to get your letters, like letter A or letter Z or letter M. If you say it in what I call a one sound bite, you will get the letter. But having said that, you can also, when they ask somebody to spell their name, have one voice code. And I found this by accident the other day, so go through it with me. First of all, there's a macro called stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Control I to insert, and I'm going to call it stitch that. And I'm going to go down to Case Catalyst, and I'm going to insert an accelerator. Okay. So the accelerator, remember, is the macros. And here are your macros. You can't really make the dialog box bigger, which kind of aggravates me. So kind of got to look for it. We don't want editing. What we want is we want the real-time commands. Those are RT, right? And so we're going to look for stitch. We want to stitch. There's also hyphenation in here. There's a bunch of macros in here that, you might want to explore. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for stitch last word, I think it's called. There we go, stitch last word. So I'm going to double click that, and then I'm going to open it, double click, open, and it's going to go okay. And there is my stitch. So that is what I'm going to put in my vocabulary. It's in my personal voice commands, actually. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this right now to keep it open, so maybe I can demonstrate this for you. So, okay, what do we do from here? What we do is we do a Control U to go up because we were in System Files. I'll go to my demonstrations, and let's do translate. Let's see. I am going to go to System Files to just make sure that I have my personal voice commands chosen. Now, usually, this is a training user, so usually I always load my last settings, but when I forget, I want to make sure that what I have, all my options are saved. So usually what I do is I make myself a settings, not the last used settings, but different settings for maybe a job that I'm doing. Like maybe I'm using like my job dictionary plus my core commands plus my personal plus my on-air speakers. And so what I'm going to use this, call it demo settings. Okay. So now they're saved. So I don't have to come in here if I forget or somehow this becomes unchecked. And then we're going to go test a stitch macro. And then I'm going to open it. Now, fingers crossed that this works. Mind you, that, see here. So mind you, that this is, well, it's a different user, okay? And it takes a minute for a macro. So people dictate and then they wait for it. The way to do it is to say stitch that and give it a slight pause to let the macro do what it needs to do, and then move on, continue dictating. So let's see. First of all, let me demonstrate what Dragon can do. the court is going to ask somebody to spell their name. So my name is Chris, comma, so letter C, letter H, letter I, letter S. And as you can see, the letters come out quite nicely, but I also want it to come with its own stitching. I don't want to have a bunch of stuff in my vocabulary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch my last name, not my last name, my first name, which is Chris. Okay, so the judge asks me, what is my name and can you spell it? Period. My name is Chris, comma, Chris, stitch that, comma, and then move on. So it takes a minute for the macro to execute, but it's a heck of a lot easier than spelling names. Now, using it for acronyms, which I was kind of explaining about yesterday, let's say they have the acronym of, it's called NIST, okay? It's coming out as N-E-S-T, but it's really N-I-S-T. If you get really good at correcting your jobs and running your analyzer, you'll be able to actually spell or say the alphabet without a letter, without going letter T, letter Z, letter A. Letter A doesn't always work so well, so I use cap A, which works a lot better. You can also do, we have 1 through 10 as words. Here it's showing up as numerals, but if I say I would like to have one of those, comma, please, period. Wonder if I want the numeral instead of the written out word. So I would say I would like to have numeral 1 of those, comma, please. And it should, okay, it doesn't, which is really interesting because usually when I say numeral 1, I get the numeral, which is in your dragon vocabulary. But having said that, I also have a command that converts to numerals. So let's go over here. I'm going to turn my mic off. I'm going to go to here, and I think I have it over here. Find word. I have a bunch of percentage signs that I want to that I don't want to convert to words, and this is how you can do it, and we can go over that later. But right now, I just want to show you a cool trick. So I'm going to insert, and I'm just going to say convert. All right, and what I'm going to do is press F4 twice. And then I'm going to search for no auto convert. So I just press the letter N until I get to no auto convert. And then I'm going to go OK. So let's see if this little trick works over here in this user. So save. And then because I have a file open, I need to refresh my dictionary. So I'm going to add remove, and I'm going to just go OK. And now I'm going to turn on my microphone, and I'm going to go and do that one convert more time. Or is it convert 1? I can't remember. 1 convert. Actually, it's doing its job. because when the number 1 comes up, it's not converting it. So group 1, this should be a number. There we go. So excuse my stumbling around. It's Saturday morning at 8:57. Oh, we have to have some levity over here. Okay, so group 1 convert. I want it to be not written out. Group 1 convert. Why is my convert not working? Let's see. So we have convert. Oh my God. Put this in alphabetical order so I can find it. Convert. Here we go. No auto convert. I don't have a number. Interesting. So numeral 1, comma, numeral 2, comma, numeral 3, comma, numeral 4, comma. That's how you get your numbers to come out using the numeral in Dragon. I also have a command in my personal voice commands for ordinals. Let's talk about ordinals. Let's get to the O's. Ordinal. I say ordinal. So if I say, let's say, 1 ordinal, I get the ordinal for 1. If I say numeral 2 ordinal, I will get what is the ordinal for the number 2. The same with 3 ordinal, comma, 4 ordinal, comma, 5 ordinal. So it's just a way to get your numbers to translate the way that you want them to translate. I also could say 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, but then look, they're coming out written. So let's go 5th convert and see if it won't work for ordinals. So we just went on an adventure this morning together, didn't we? I'm going to stop it here. And if you have any more questions, I can always do a little seminar on this. I can do a seminar also on, number triggers and dictionary entries and when to use them. Pretty cool stuff. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. So if this helps, let me know. And let me know what else you want to learn.